Scrapcraft, and I'm back with another process video. This one is sort of inspired by a layout that was done in the Paper Issues Friends and Fans Facebook group. It used triangles, and I have this really cool Altenew triangle stencil that I wanted to try out, and I got it from the Paper Issue store. You can also get it and other great scrapbook stuff at the Paper Issue store, and for 20% off when you use my code LARS at checkout. So here, I already done one stamped thing with the stencil, and after I stamped it, I turned the stamp over and kind of like used the excess that was left on the plastic part, and then like stamped the stencil down on the bottom. That's kind of what you're seeing down there, and you'll see me do it with this one. The stamps that I'm using, or the ink that I'm using, are Ingrid Bolmer, I think that's how you say it. I've had them for a while, and I really liked the colors, and the colors really went together well with some of the embellishments that I had picked out. So this whole thing really got started by some donut embellishments that I had. And I also had the perfect pictures to go along with them. So I pulled all the embellishments and kind of let the embellishments inform what I wanted to do here. I didn't have like coordinating paper or pattern paper that would be the right color. So I kind of knew going into this that I was going to do some sort of mixed media background. So that's why I decided to use the stencil, test that out, and use it with my stamped inks. And I don't know, I used the Vicki Boutin Foundations paper. Maybe I just didn't let the stamp dry enough. I let it dry overnight, but I was still picking up a little bit of stamp ink on my fingers as I was working. So that's just something to keep in mind. And one of the things with that stencil is that there is a little bit of a border going around it, and I really wanted the lines to line up. But then, as you can see, it didn't end up being flush all 12 inches across. So there's like a section there. I mean, I guess I could cut it down. I could have cut it down if I had wanted it to, but then the paper wouldn't have been 12 by 12, and it would have been noticeable in a page protector. So I just decided to leave it. This was my first time using that stencil. So this was basically just me kind of experimenting a little bit and trying to figure out how I wanted to use it and how I could use it. So I really liked the way the triangles overlap at the bottom, even though they are kind of faint, but I liked that effect. And so I think if I use this stencil again, either I would do something in the corners, or I would try to layer the stenciling a little bit more instead of almost like trying to make a border with it. I think that's what I would do next time. So what you're seeing here is like my first trial with this stencil, and hopefully you'll see me use it again. And as I get more comfortable using it, I'll kind of figure things out. And see, something else that I could have done, but because of the way I overlapped the triangles at the bottom, if I had done them the other way with the big triangle and then the little triangle going toward the left, then I could have made my diagonal of embellishments along left corner to top right corner line, and I could have covered up that blank white space with the embellishments. But I didn't do that. I wasn't really thinking about it when I was stamping things down. This was actually a struggle trying to figure out how to use both of the photos that I had, because one of them is a very big close-up selfie of me with the donut, and I just couldn't cut it down that much. And so I think it's still about 4 by 6. And then the other one is a smaller photo that I was able to cut down. And one was vertical, one was horizontal. So I always struggle when I've got two photos of different orientation, and especially if it's not easy to cut them down, I do struggle with like, okay, how do I fit these all on the page? So let me talk about the embellishments that I am using. There's some Kate and Ash, that's the mood chipboard word with the donuts as the O's. There's some Pebbles Live Life Happy. The Sweet on You card, I think is Bella Boulevard. I think. And the polka dot paper is Bella Boulevard as well. I had some like donut 3D embellishments that I got from the Paper Issues birthday crop, so I decided to use those as well. And so for this small photo, I backed the small one just because it was a different size and I wanted to do something to sort of make it stand out a little bit more. I backed it on craft foam, so that's going to pop up a little bit off the page to go over the bigger photo. And that foam is just foam that I purchased at Walmart many years ago. Just the regular, I don't know what, I think it's called craft foam. Could be called fun foam. I'm not totally sure. But it's a great investment, and I've been using it a lot recently because I ran out of foam square adhesives. Those are probably my favorite things to use. However, when you run out, you have to resort to the bulk regular foam that's in your supply, which is totally fine. And it actually works a little bit better, especially when you're popping something up as big as a photo, like for smaller embellishments. For smaller embellishments, the foam adhesive squares are the perfect size, but really, when I use them on something as big as a photo, if you don't use a whole lot, it tends to like start sinking in the middle or sinking along the edges in the middle where you don't want it to. So just using a big piece of foam is a much easier alternative. So now I'm just in the adhering things down process. I'm doing some big circle pattern paper from Bella Boulevard at both corners, just again trying to keep all of my elements on a diagonal. And I love that chipboard, that mood chipboard word. And I love the donut rainbow with the rain dropping out of it. I just think that's so cute. So what you saw that I did was actually cut it in half so that I have half of it showing up at the bottom and then the other half up at the top, again on the diagonal. And I loved that Donut Worry Be Happy cut apart from the new Doodlebug Pumpkin Spice line. The brown color didn't really go that well with the rest of the colors that I was using on this layout. And really, it was a big square, and it was just a little too big. I didn't know where to put it. So I did some fussy cutting. Did a lot of fussy cutting, I feel like, with this, because I cut out that Sweet on You thing to kind of fit in behind down there at the bottom, and that's going to serve as my title for this layout. Now I'm just adding it in a few extra embellishments. I have some Doodlebug Pumpkin Spice stickers. Some of them are flat, and some of them are like 3D, I guess enamel stickers is what they would be. So I'm just kind of adding them down for some extra dimension, just to fill in some of the blank spaces that I feel like are kind of left behind by not having anything there. So, and here I'm using that foam again. This type of thing would be perfect for the foam adhesive dots, which I don't have. So I'm just going to glue a small strip there because part of that cut apart is going to come off of the photo. So I still want it to be the same thickness above, and I don't want it to be like falling down below. That's what I'm going for. So now that I've got that little piece adhered down and properly adhered down, again, I'm just kind of finishing up some of the other embellishments, trying to create a few extra clusters, still working along that diagonal line. I don't use all of the donut pieces that I had pulled, just because there just wasn't enough space. Like there's a Yes You Can cut apart from, I think it was Pebbles, I'm not totally sure. And it is just too big. You know, it's a big rectangle and it just doesn't work. So I'm just going to save that because I'm sure we'll have some donut pictures another time. And as you can see here, this is an interesting part of the process. I covered my photo so that the splatters that I put down would not show. And I used two types of shimmers misting sprays. That's Pink Stilettos, and then I also have a blue one called Don't Rain on My Parade. And they're old colors. I'm not sure if they make them anymore. But again, I covered my photos because that's what you do. But from the angle where I was standing, because I always stand up to splatter, I didn't realize, I can see it now, but I didn't realize at the time that my photo wasn't completely covered there at the top. So I did end up with some splatter on my forehead. And I will kind of unsuccessfully smear it around on the photo. I do get it off enough. You'll see in the close-ups, I get it off enough so it's not noticeable. So it's okay, but yeah, maybe always cover your photos and make sure they are properly covered. So I think I do some journaling just because, although I should have done that, you know, before I splattered, but no big deal. And then after the journaling, that's really kind of it. So again, this was using the Altenew stencil that I found in the paper issues store. This was my first time using it, so it was just kind of an experimentation. So thanks for watching and kind of going along with whatever the heck I was doing. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Click subscribe below so you never miss out on another scrapbook process video. And I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Happy scrapping.